Mr. Escobar, first of all, thank you for this opportunity to speak for 360. Was it just coincidence, or it was carefully planned for you to come to Skopje just a couple of days after the start of the plenary session of the parliament with the constitutional agenda, constitutional changes on its agenda, and with a session that has just shown that there is no two-thirds majority in the parliament?
Yeah. Well, look, first of all, I want to start by saying that North Macedonia is a really important partner. They've been included in every major discussion on regional and European stability, and they've done a lot. This government has done a lot. So yes, I always have a reason to be in Skopje, but I do have to say that part of it is we're very glad that the process opened, because as a partner, North Macedonia has helped us on Afghanistan, on NATO, on Russia, on Ukraine, and even helped us to create the conditions for a historic normalization agreement between Serbia and Kosovo. So we appreciate your partnership in NATO, and we need you. America needs you in the European Union. To have such a friend inside another important organization, for us, that prospect is a very positive one. So yeah, I'm glad that the process opened, and I'm glad that I'm here when I am.
You had a meeting with Mr. Hристијан Mickoski in this very building. You said that obviously there is going to be no torture, but just honest and frank discussion. How far can you go in disclosing the details of the conversation, or at least tell us what were your messages to leader of the opposition?
Well, I want to start by saying that, I didn't come here to tell people how to vote. I didn't come here to tell people how to form their governments, and we don't do that for NATO allies. What we do is we set expectations. I mean, on one hand, I convey to him the same level of enthusiasm that I want to convey to the people of North Macedonia, that the future of Southern Europe is in the Western Balkans. That future is one where this region is going to contribute heavily to the growth of Europe. And because of that, it's going to contribute also to our economy. So in that regard, there are huge opportunities for North Macedonia to join the European Union. That is the largest trading bloc in the world, and also America's largest trading partner. There are $4 billion a day that are crossing the Atlantic, and we want you to be part of that. And so it's that enthusiasm for what North Macedonia can contribute to Europe that I wanted to convey to everyone in my meetings. So with the opposition leader, what I did also want to say is I wasn't here to tell him what to do, and I wasn't here to dictate any terms. But I also wanted to make it clear that, the United States picks its partners in the Balkans based on those who are moving the region closer to Europe, who are showing their commitment to NATO and continuing the fight against corruption. And that's our expectation. Now, what's happening right now with the opportunities that are being presented to move North Macedonia's candidacy forward toward the European Union is part of that process. And I'm not asking people to support the government. I'm asking people to please work with us to support the European path, because it's going to benefit us too.
You said that you're picking your partners based on that, if they're committed to democracy, EU integration, NATO, etc. Just after your meeting, ВМРО-ДПМНЕ had a press release saying that they are for EU integration, but on the same hand, they're telling that they are not for the constitutional changes, which is a prerequisite for EU integration.
Well, I'd like to see them explain that dilemma to the public, because, quite honestly, right now, given all of the things that are happening in Europe and all of the things that are happening in the world, we don't know what happens tomorrow. But we know that today we have opportunities to move North Macedonia's candidacy further and faster than anybody else in the Western Balkans. So from a perspective of a friend, of a close friend, we'd like to see North Macedonia get past this hurdle and start defining itself by its relationship to the transatlantic community, by its relationship to the rest of the world based on its values, and not defined by Bulgaria.
In this process with Bulgaria, the opposition is constantly saying that They're talking about Bulgarian blackmail, betrayal by the
Yeah.
government, Macedonian identity under threat, etc., and is asking for additional guarantees. From U.S. point of view, do you have any dilemma or threats regarding the uniqueness of the Macedonian language and the Macedonian identity?
No, I mean, it's a fact. We respect the Macedonian language, its identity, its culture, its uniqueness in Europe. That has never been a question. And in fact, I think that after this, what will happen is that in Europe, you're adding that to Europe. You're adding the Macedonian language to the family of languages that are accepted and official in the European Union.
Recently, you stated that the U.S. administration is working closely with authorities in Bulgaria, so that there are no new requests on the side of government in Sofia if Skopje does its bit of the agreement of the deal. How certain are you that there are not going to be any new, let's say, requests are going to pop up in the process if the constitutional changes are adopted?
Well, look, we do raise it, and I personally raised it with the foreign minister of Bulgaria at the Dubrovnik Forum, where she assured me that if North Macedonia does what's outlined in the current agreement, that there would be no new conditions. I take that as a personal commitment from her and a commitment on behalf of her government that there won't be. And that is our plan. I mean, I think that after this, that what will define your accession process is not the bilateral issues, but the closing of chapters and the convergence of your economy with the greatest economy in the world.
What if there is no progress on this issue in the next period, if we have in mind opposition stance? What the United States will do? Because Senator Chris Murphy, who was recently here in Skopje, said, I'm quoting, that this will raise concern in Washington about strategic orientation of a NATO member country that U.S. pledges to defend on the basis of common values. Do you share his view?
Well, look, I'll tell you, as I said, we pick our partners based on the commitment to deepening Euro-Atlantic institutions. I wouldn't be as blunt, but yeah, it does create some unpredictability about the strategic direction of North Macedonia.
The opposition is saying that the only solution for this, let's say, political deadlock is snap elections. What do you think? Are snap elections the real solution for the current situation in North Macedonia?
That's not for the United States to determine. That's for the people of North Macedonia to determine. I do hope that the people understand what a tremendous opportunity they have in front of them, and to take advantage of that. And I do hope that they send a signal to the leaders of North Macedonia. They want that, and they want that quickly, and they want that now, so that we can begin building that structure, so that North Macedonia is fully and formally part of every Euro-Atlantic structure, because that's where we want you.
Another pressing issue to the State Department and for the U.S. Embassy here in Skopje, or through their perspective, is the situation with the level of corruption in the country. You personally have been strongly advocating to put more efforts in tackling any kind of corruptive deeds, including high level, that are also being perceived as a threat to the national security. But in reality, although there are credible reports about specific cases, the response from the judiciary and the prosecution is almost none. So what can you say about
Well, what
this?
I can say is for the region, for the whole region, corruption is an enormous problem. And I am happy to see that the accession process makes a central feature of the application of rule of law a requirement for entry. That's another reason why we want to see the European path open up for all of the countries. Every country that's entered the European Union is more stable, more democratic, and more prosperous, and at the same time, more equitable in terms of justice for its citizens. So another reason why we would like to see you on the path to European membership.
We have witnessed several new nominations on the so-called blacklist. I know that you don't like to use this word blacklist. And among them are influential politicians in the self-government, powerful businessmen. Are there any new entries coming soon?
Well, Let me just say that this administration, the Biden administration, is committed to the fight against corruption, because corruption is so corrosive to societies. We can't preview sanctions, actions, but I can tell you can count on it.
So maybe, yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.